Oh my fucking God, guys. I got something to tell you. Goddamn, there's so much to say. So let me just give a quick little recap, backstory, whatever. I was adopted when I was 3 years old to a family, and they also adopted 4 of my biological siblings. When we were younger, my oldest sibling, my oldest sister, she actually did so much fucking research when we were literally in middle school. And she tracked down our mom because we're not allowed to really track her down or have any information. And we saw her. So I got to see my biological mother literally once after the age of 3. And I was, like I said, in middle school or so. And when we saw her, it was pretty clear why she gave us all up for adoption. She is a homeless, drug addict, prostitute, and it makes sense because she started having kids when she was 12 or 13, and to this day, I believe she has about 12 kids, so she's been pregnant pretty much ever motherfucking since. I think she's 45 or so right now. But anyways, I haven't really thought about my mother in a long time. I've been trying to track her down here and there to find out who my dad is because all my siblings are half siblings. We all have different fathers. Well, some of us have the same father, but I am one of the few, if not the only one, who doesn't know who my dad is. So I've been kind of hitting her up here and there on Facebook, but that was probably 3 years ago, maybe 5 years ago before I transitioned. And so here's the juice. I got a call 3 days ago from my older sister, and she said, dude, biological mom, real mom, we call her real mom, fucking is diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. And we kind of all seen this coming. We kind of all seen this coming because our moms, I think both of her parents, both of her grandparents, they're every woman, her sister, her aunts, there's so many people in our family, so many people who died or just got breast cancer at some point in time. So we've always been scared for that. Me, my siblings, even my brothers and sisters, we all been scared for that. So when I heard this, I was like, yeah, sounds about right. We have it in our fucking blood. So I'm happy my titties are gone because I don't have that issue, but I can still get it, but there's just a less likelihood of me getting breast cancer after my titties are gone, but I can still get it, so I will be getting tests for that more often than the average person. Anyway, so I got this call saying that she got stage 4 breast cancer. She's on her way out, and I also heard that she actually, when we saw her when I was in middle school, she had 2 very recent births, children. One was literally an infant, and I guess she got them 2 taken away, and they are currently in foster care. And when I heard that, me and my sister were both we need to adopt these kids. We need to adopt our siblings because we both always thought about adoption. Myself, I am kind of wobbly about kids, but hearing that my 2 siblings are literally in foster care and I am in a place where I could potentially take care of them, I am thinking about adopting them. So that's another video. I can talk about that another time. But there was that, and then our real mom was very clearly wanting us all to come through and be there for her at the end of her life. And it also seemed maybe financially too. She's trying to make it seem like we grew up in wealth or something, the people that adopted us, but actually we grew up in poverty still. Just no drugs or prostitution around, but definitely no money in our adopted family. Anyways, I was ready to go book a flight and see my mom again for the second time ever since, being 3 years old or whatever. But my sister disclosed to me that I guess she talked to our brother, the one that misgendered me when I went to go to the funeral a few weeks back. And I guess they were talking about how I'm trans. And our real mom said to my sister, what the fuck is up with Deja? My old name, my dead name. She said, what the fuck is up with Deja? In a very aggressive and transphobic way. And my older sister was I don't know what you're talking about. Or I don't know. Something super bland, something like that. And she told me this. And I was like, what the actual fuck? I literally have siblings that are in jail I have siblings that are drug addicts, homeless, and she has nothing to say to them, but she has something to say to me just because I'm fucking trans. Like, I'm so surprised because she's not even religious. And what's really crazy to me is that the people that adopted me are literally religious. Unfortunately, my adopted father did pass away, RIP dad, but my mother is still here, and she is accepting of me, and she's really religious. Now she's not so much, but she has always been really, really religious, and she accepts me. But my drug addict prostitute mother, and I only say that because it's like, bitch, I'm a normal person, you know what I mean? And she doesn't accept me just because I'm a trans person. So after hearing that, I was like, okay, fuck that bitch. I'm not seeing her. You know, I guess she's gonna die without me seeing her, because that's just so goddamn rude. I was really surprised by that, because I was, like I said, ready to book a flight, ready to be there for her. You know, if I could help her out financially, I would. Like, I was going to be there for her, but hearing that she haven't even talked to me, she haven't been wanting to talk to me my whole entire life. She literally gave me away. She threw me away, and now she's calling us all back just because she's on her deathbed, but she can't seem to accept her kid. So, that was a real wake-up call for me, because I was like, okay, even when people are literally dying, they don't give a fuck about you just because you're a trans person. And I know part of me was like thinking about hopping on a phone call with her and explaining to her, like, I'm a normal person, I'm just a man now. And also, me and my sister were talking about it too, and it's like kind of crazy, because in a way and just be open-minded here. I know a lot of trans people think that they're, they have the belief that they're born trans and they are trans, and that's, their belief. But for me personally, I think that transness comes from, at least a portion of it comes from trauma. And my childhood, my entire life, up until the age of 18, has been extremely, extremely traumatic. And being adopted, was the cause of it, kind of. I think that if I never was adopted, maybe it would have been worse. I would have probably ended up being a drug addict, homeless, prostitute. But I did end up, being molested my entire childhood. So that is very, very traumatic. And I do think that plays into me being a trans person. So, that, not being connected to my body, in a sense. I don't know if that even makes sense. But, so, all that to say, like, it's literally, like, she caused my trauma. I'm not going to say she made me trans, but you know what I mean? Like, this is, I'm your child. Either way, whether or not the trauma had anything to do with me transitioning, it is kind of like, what the fuck do you think's going to happen? Like, truly, people that are adopted into a family like that, and, like, literally, molestation or whatever, or abuse of any kind, there's not really many pathways other than, ooh, my phone is literally almost dying. Oh, I'm so stupid. There's only a few paths. There is, you beat the system, and you become successful, not money-wise, but by not, following drugs or anything like that. But it really is like, the statistics are, if you were abused as a kid, you're going to end up in jail, or you're going to be a drug addict, or you're going to be a prostitute, or you're just, like, not going to be okay. And I do think that trans is in there, you know what I mean? I'm a tranny. I'm happy I'm not on drugs or anything like that. Like, she's literally, I don't know, it's just so crazy to think that she literally, when she found out she had cancer, she was sleeping underneath a bridge. And hearing her say that she doesn't accept me, it's just, like, mind-boggling. I can't even fathom the fact that she doesn't accept me and that she's transphobic. I would have never thought. I actually thought that my mom, even though I don't know her, I would have thought that maybe she would accept me. And even when I was thinking about visiting her and seeing her on her deathbed, I didn't even think about the trans part of me. I didn't think about it. I was just going to show up and be like, hey, it's me. It's Elijah, I changed my name. But that's not going to happen. I'm not going to see her. Part of me is sad. It's like a weird sadness, because when someone is dying, but you don't really know them, like, it's weird. Like, will I go to her funeral? I don't know. Maybe this is a way that our biological family can get together when she does die, even though it's sad to say, but when she does die and she has a funeral, maybe that's how our family will get together. Because she, her very first kid, she'd been homeless with her. She'd been going through it with her. She's also a drug addict, homeless prostitute, and they literally been locked in and living together ever since, because they're really similar in age. They're only 13 years apart. But anyway, so, you know, maybe I'll get to know these siblings. Maybe I'll adopt my siblings. We'll see what happens. I didn't really know how to title this because there's just so much to say. There was so much to say. There's the transphobia. There's the my mom having cancer, like, and just, I don't know. I can make more videos about this if you guys are interested in this one, and I can expand on it because there's so many thoughts. There's so much going on. I'll update you guys on what happens. I am getting information from my sister, from my brother, from our real mom. So, yeah, hopefully she does live longer. Hopefully it passes, but it is bone cancer, and she is poor, and she doesn't have money for any, like, fancy things. So, yeah, but she's on Medi-Cal, so maybe they'll hook her up, but they're not really seeming to do much, you know. Unfortunately, that's just how it is when you're homeless and stuff, you know, and especially a drug addict. So, you know, but, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Yeah. Yeah.